Today we're going to talk about shaping behavior with a novel object and basically teaching a dog how to learning how to learn. And we're going to use the climb for that behavior. Shaping is the process of reinforcing successively closer and closer approximations to a desired behavior. It basically breaks down a behavior into little pieces so the dog gets closer to the finished behavior over time while rewarding the slightest try and small steps towards your end goal. In this video, you're going to watch me work with Ted, who's seeing the climb for the first time, and we're going to work on shaping his behavior to be able to go and sit on the climb. But it's not going to start like that. It's going to start with just even looking at the climb. Here you'll see me pulling out the novel object and immediately ready to click and reward for any interaction with the new object. So this happens to be the climb. I'm using this because eventually I'm going to start teaching him a stay, and I'll show you that at the end of the video. But I want to use something where it's easy for him to get it right and easy for him to understand what I'm asking for. Now you'll see me at the beginning clicking and then tossing the food away. This gives him the opportunity to come back and be reinforced again for successful interactions with the climb. So right now I'm clicking and reinforcing for either looking at the climb or touching the climb. This is Ted's first experience with shaping, so I will go back sometimes and just reward for slightest try, reward for just looking at the climb so that he doesn't get frustrated. I want to make sure he's not getting frustrated, and I want to make sure he doesn't give up. Because right now he's learning how to learn. He's learning that his actions cause me to click and treat, so that he has a lot of ownership over the training process and he can drive the training. Saying yes, you're right, over and over again to your dog really builds their confidence and creates buy-in in the training process. Ted was recently rescued about 3 weeks before this video was shot, and from what I can tell, his experience with training in the past may have not been very positive. So shaping activities like this will really help reinforce that learning is fun and build his confidence over time. So we took a break right here around the 2-minute mark or so with Ted because some distractions came in and we wanted to make sure that he was in a relatively non-stimulated working environment for his first session with this. So we took a break and then we came back to it. So now you'll see me starting to reward on the climb because I want to start magnetizing him to the climb and let him know that this object is a really special object and create value here. I am very, very generous at the beginning of any type of training with a dog. The more generous I am, the quicker the dog learns. Now you'll notice he went from just looking on the climb to being able to put right now 3, then 4 paws on the climb, and he's starting to realize, ooh, that's what I want to do. He went from just looking at it to touching it with his nose to putting 1 paw on to putting 2 paws on. Now I'm rewarding him on the climb, and now he's offering to sit on the climb. Now I didn't ask for a sit. I'm not cueing this behavior. I'm just waiting for him to offer me behavior that I like and reinforcing behavior that I like. Now, if he needs a second to think about it and he stares at the climb for a little while, I'm going to go back and reinforce some easier tasks for him and get him re-engaged and then start rewarding again for those feet on the climb. So right now he's got 3 feet on, and I'm rewarding on the climb so he knows that's where all the good stuff comes from, almost like a magic mat. Now, he did really well with that, so I'm going to put the legs on the climb, make the platform taller, because I think that's going to help him with the exercise, and he's been successful on the lower level. So now I go back to just clicking and reinforcing for looking or touching it with his nose, and boom, he goes and offers to get back on the climb. Reinforcing again on the climb, so it's a magic mat that produces cookies. We love that. And boom, he offers the entire behavior to sit on the climb. Awesome. I toss the cookie away, give him the opportunity to try and do that again. I stare at the climb. I don't stare at my dog. Staring at my dog will cause him to sit and to not engage in behavior. Here he's getting a little stuck, so I move myself around to help him out. Me moving my body helps him with the behavior because he's going to want to get to me because all the good stuff is with me. So I move my body. He wants to go through me. To go through me, he has to go on the climb. So I'm definitely helping him out there. I want him to be successful. I'm in the business of making dogs successful when I train. So I'm rewarding here on the climb, tossing away. He comes back, boom, offers the behavior. That's lovely. So the climb is between me and him, so it makes it pretty easy for him to do the right thing. Right here, I'm going to ask for a more challenging thing, which is to go past me to get on the climb. And that's where you see that magnetizing behavior start to develop. He goes past me to get on the object that I've heavily reinforced. Awesome. That is exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm going to toss the cookie away again, stare at my climb, step myself back, boom, he gets back on again. I click and reward. Really awesome work by Ted here. So I toss away again. He walks past me, gets a little stuck there, but I just stare, wait, good. And I wait for him to offer the behavior. I'm not cueing it, I'm not pointing, I'm not telling him go to place. That's not part of the exercise here. We want him to drive the learning. I can always add a cue later. I'll call this go to place or go climb, but I don't want to do that until my dog is repeatedly running back to the climb to get reinforced. I only add a cue or a word to a behavior if I'm willing to bet you $100 that that dog is going to do it 9 out of 10 times. Okay, so I'm not adding a word here. This is just an exercise in learning how to learn. I don't need to call it anything yet. You can obviously see he's starting to get excited. I move myself back and out of his view, so it's not even like he has to go right past me. Now I'm 5 feet out of the equation, and he's still going over to the climb. Good. So there he hesitates, but then he gets back on. I give him the scritchies. He does a really, really nice job here, and I do one easy one where I'm right in front of him, and then we end the session here. So Ted got a play break, and then we came back to work a little bit on our stays. I'm not going to really go into how to do a complete stay, but you will see here how I'm building duration and then distance from the platform. Now, the reason this works so well is I just spent the last 2 little sessions with him saying, hey, this platform is exactly where you want to be. You want to stay on the climb because that's where all the reinforcement is coming from. And that makes teaching my stay so simple and easy because he's got this reinforcement history and this magnetization to the climb. He knows that's where all the good stuff comes from. So this is why I originally started shaping with the climb, because I knew eventually in this session I wanted to start stays. But you can do shaping with any object. I love to have dogs knock over a water bottle or boop a sticky note with their nose, walk on a cookie tin that maybe has some keys on it to make it sound funny. There's all sorts of stuff that you can shape with your dog and get them engaged in the learning process. So that's it. That's a little bit of a shaping session and what it looks like the first time I work with a dog with shaping. Now go have fun, be creative, and see how smart your dog can be. Remember to click that thumbs up button, subscribe, and happy training!